All right, welcome back. We're featuring a very special new guest, new to you, but hopefully will ingrain himself in your musical passions. He is a singer, musician, songwriter, Colin Peterick. Welcome, Colin.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And it's a very special day for you. I know you've been in bands and put out music and been around music all your life, but today is the release date, the official day that you're spawning your solo career, and the album Everything and Nothing is out. What's it feel to finally give birth to this?
Whew, it's extremely cathartic. I've been working on this album in bits and pieces for the better part of almost 10 years. Previous segment, I'm a songwriter, and I like to write songs whether or not they have a home. And a lot of these songs I wrote for other people, or maybe I wrote them for myself, but I wasn't pursuing a solo career. They didn't really have a home. So, life gets crazy. I got married, had 2 kids. I had a successful career as an engineer and producer at my studio. The solo artist thing was kind of on the back burner until 2020 with the worldwide shutdown, the pandemic. And I'm like, well, I've got all these songs. I've got nothing to show for it. Let's put my best material together on a proper 12-song album. And let's blow off the dust. Let's modify some lyrics. Let's re-sing everything. Let's paint on a shiny layer of shellac on the whole thing and do a proper release and tour the thing. And that's what this album is. It's called Everything and Nothing. And it's basically just the best, my best writing compositions of the past, like I said, 10 years or so. A lot of new stuff, some older stuff, but it comes together as a cohesive 12-song album. And today it's just like any other day, except it's released into the world. It's very surreal. I haven't really processed it yet, but I'm very excited. Yes.
Yeah, it hopefully will bring new experiences and new opportunities for you. Now, when you look back at these 12 songs, give us a couple that really stand out to you that you can't wait to perform live. You feel extra special of what you accomplished, and maybe a little story behind them.
Yeah, so the centerpiece of the album is the title track called Everything and Nothing. It's actually a 3-song suite that plays back to back to back if you want. Everything and Nothing, Kill 'Em With Kindness, Only Light Ahead of Us. And it's a 13-minute suite. And this is kind of my tribute to all my favorite progressive rock bands of the day. They would always do these multi-song suites, and I've always wanted to do something like that. So this came together last year after a severe case of writer's block, and it all kind of just came washing over me. I opened up a Pro Tools session. I started playing the piano, doing the first track, and then it just led into the next thing. And then for some reason I thought, this isn't over yet. And I kept going. And eventually the song became this behemoth of a suite, and I kept adding tracks to it, adding layers and layers. And eventually it's this enormous Pro Tools session that turned into this really cool beast of a song. And I think it's quite an accomplishment. We actually just filmed a music video for it. And it's going to be really cool. And I'm excited. This is the first time today that anyone's going to be able to hear the whole thing back to back, because we released the middle song, Kill 'Em With Kindness, which is all about, go out and kill 'em with your kindness, shine a light and try to blind us. Very positive, uplifting message within this suite of darker material. And we released that one as a single, but this is the first time that everyone's going to be able to hear the whole thing back to back as it was intended. And so I'm really proud of that track. Another track I'm really proud of is called Jack and the music from an older song. And I rewrote all the lyrics, and then I was stuck on the chorus. And I remembered this old chorus that me and my buddy Joey wrote that's like, 'cause I've been climbing up the hill of love. Call me Jack, and Jill was just in it for the water. And I remember that chorus was so catchy, and we didn't have anything for it after that. And I was like, well, well, I realized one day I could put that melody, just fit like a puzzle piece. It blew my mind when I discovered I can just fit this chorus into this thing. I need a chorus here, and it worked out perfectly. And, the track ended up being one of the strongest tracks on the album. And in fact, that's the song that I played for the mix engineer, Grammy winner Craig Bauer, and he fell in love with it. That's what got him to sign on to to mix the album. He was so impressed with that song, he wanted to do the whole thing.
Wow. Now, when you talk about the title track in the music video, did you do the whole suite or just one of the parts is the music video?
We did the whole suite. It's going to be like an audio visual, presentation. It's going to be pretty cool. It'll be, we got the whole band in the studio. We did a 360-degree cycloramic green screen, camera spinning around in circles, like this type of thing, and going crazy. It's going to be very psychedelic, very audio visual experimentation, and that'll be coming out probably in about 2 weeks.
Fantastic. Now, I know you had started back in, I believe, 2012, the Jam Lab, which gave you really a clubhouse, so to speak, to rehearse and write and record and all that. How important was that to have kind of a place like that to really, hone your craft and be able to help and, produce others?
It's so awesome. I mean, in the middle of the night to bang on a drum set as loud as you can to hammer out some frustrations in life. There's nothing better than banging on a drum set in the middle of the night if you can without disturbing your neighbors. But other than that, yeah, I mean, just having a quiet place to sit and write and compose and work on lyrics. And because it's very hard to work on lyrics when you got two little kids running around. You kind of need your full attention on your notepad. You got to get in the zone. So you need a place to do that. And the Jam Lab has been great. We've been around since 2012. I've been working with bands as a producer and mixer since then. We've since ventured into private parties. I have an events manager who's amazing. She handles all the private parties. I have a mix engineer who handles all the rehearsals. And then I'm kind of the guy that does all the mixing and production. And on my off hours, I'm working on my own stuff, and more and more, it's more and more of my own stuff and less of other people. I'm kind of putting myself on the priority list where I think it should be right now, because pursuing the solo career thing is a kind of a full-time job.
Yeah, and for those fans of classic rock, you may recognize Colin's last name from his father, Jim Peterik, who, of course, was a member of Survivor and co-wrote Eye of the Tiger and so many of the hits they had. And even prior to that, it was part of the 60s group Ides of March and wrote a hit called Vehicle, which you'd recognize if you heard, and still plays with them, but co-wrote Heavy Metal with Sammy Hagar and multiple hits with 38 Special, Hold On Loosely and Caught Up in You and things like that. What did you learn from just being around your father as far as the craft of songwriting, the dedication to music?
I think I was inspired just to see a guy that could do what he loves and not have to work a day in his life. I've always strived for that, because he's so dedicated to his craft and his art. And like I said, I mean, he loves what he does. He doesn't have to work a day in his life. And I've never met someone with more passion than him. So, and we have a great relationship. Every time, he's my number one fan. He's the first guy I bring my new song ideas to. I'm like, hey, Dad, what do you think of this? And we go in the car and we have a little. It's almost like a therapy session. We both sit in the car and we pull out of the garage. We turn on the air conditioning. I put on the new song and we discuss production ideas and lyrics. And then he's like, hey, I got something too. And he'll put in a disc and we'll do the same thing. We'll listen. And then I'll say, hey, I've got some production ideas or lyric ideas. And so we really love to bounce ideas off each other. It's a lot of fun. I think, I don't think he never pushed me into this. I kind of went in myself, and he might not have ever thought that I would have chosen this as a career path, but I think he's happy. I know how proud he is, and I'm proud of him for his tenacity, and he inspires me every day.
Yeah, well, he helped give birth to you, and you gave birth to your kids, and of course, giving birth to your album today. Very special day. I know there'll be many more, but something special about your first, like Foreigner said, the first time. But
Yeah,
it's great to
right.
see, your enthusiasm and the music coming out. And I know you're surrounded by a lot of love and support, for your music. So we can only imagine, in a follow-up call, what kind of new music and, next album that we'll be talking about. Our special guest has been Colin Peterik. Go get his album, Everything and Nothing, all potential sites, wherever you can get your music at. And we look forward to our next conversation. Colin, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Jay.